Over 60 billion coffee capsules are used around the world every year. That's nearly 2,000 every second. Behind these tiny pods lies a complex, high-speed process that blends precision engineering, fresh coffee beans, and modern technology. Today, we take you behind the scenes to see how these capsules are made in the factory, from roasting and grinding to filling and sealing. The journey of a coffee capsule begins on coffee farms in tropical countries such as Brazil, Colombia, Ethiopia, and Vietnam. These regions provide ideal growing conditions: warm temperatures, regular rainfall, rich soil, and high altitudes. Coffee grows as small cherries. Inside each cherry are 2 beans. These cherries take months to ripen, and once they turn red or purple, they're ready for harvest. On many farms, cherries are picked by hand to select only the ripest ones. Larger farms may use machines to speed up the process. After harvesting, the cherries go through a processing step to remove the beans. This can be done by drying the cherries or washing and pulping them. Each method gives the coffee a different flavor. Next, the beans are dried until they reach the right moisture level. Once dry, they go through hulling to remove the outer layers and are then sorted by size and quality. Broken or defective beans are removed to ensure only the best are used. Finally, the beans are packed into large sacks and shipped to coffee factories around the world. When the beans arrive at the factory, the first step is to check their quality. Workers or machines inspect the beans to make sure they are clean and not broken or moldy. Factories use special tools to test the moisture content of the beans. If the beans are too wet or too dry, they won't roast properly. Sometimes, beans from different farms are mixed together to create a special blend. This helps companies make a consistent flavor that customers recognize and love. Next, the beans go through the roasting process. Roasting is what gives coffee its dark color, strong smell, and delicious taste. The beans are placed into large roasting machines that heat them to high temperatures, usually between 180 degrees Celsius and 240 degrees Celsius. The roasting time can range from 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the type of roast the company wants to produce: light, medium, or dark. Lighter roasts are more acidic and have a fruitier flavor. Darker roasts are stronger and more bitter. Once roasted, they are cooled quickly to stop the cooking process. Cooling is done by blowing cold air or spraying water. After roasting, the beans are ground into small particles. Grinding is a very important step. If the grind is too fine or too coarse, the coffee might taste bad or brew incorrectly in the capsule machine. Factories use large grinders that can handle hundreds of kilograms of beans per hour. The size of the grind is chosen based on the type of capsule being made. Now that the coffee is ground, it is moved to the capsule filling area. Here, machines measure the exact amount of coffee needed for one capsule. Most capsules contain between 5 to 7 grams of ground coffee. This may not seem like much, but it needs to be very precise. Even a small difference in weight can change the taste of the coffee. While the coffee is being ground and measured, other machines are preparing the actual capsules. They are usually made from plastic, aluminum, or biodegradable materials. Plastic and aluminum capsules are made using molds and heat. The material is shaped into small cup-like containers that are strong enough to hold the coffee and survive the brewing process. Some companies use eco-friendly materials like compostable plant fiber to reduce waste. Each capsule is carefully checked to make sure it doesn't have cracks or defects. A broken capsule could leak or not work in the machine. Once the ground coffee is ready and the empty capsules are made, the filling and sealing process begins. The ground coffee is filled into the capsule and then sealed with a lid. The lid is usually made of foil or a similar material. Sealing is done with heat and pressure to make sure no air gets inside. This is important because coffee loses its flavor when exposed to oxygen. Some factories even flush the capsules with nitrogen gas before sealing. This helps keep the coffee fresh for longer. The sealed capsules are then checked by sensors or cameras to ensure the seal is tight and there are no leaks. Before the capsules are shipped out to stores, the factory does final quality checks. Workers open random packages to test the coffee. They brew the capsules using machines and taste the coffee to make sure it meets the company's standards. They also test the capsule's durability, sealing strength, and freshness. If any problem is found, the batch may be stopped and reviewed. Once the capsules pass all quality tests, they are ready to be sent to stores, warehouses, or cafes. In this factory, thousands of pieces of frozen sushi are made every day to deliver fresh taste to customers. The process begins with selecting ingredients, including fresh fish, vegetables, and cooked rice. Next, skilled workers and automated machines place the fillings on sheets of seaweed and roll them tightly. The rolls are then cut into even pieces, keeping their shape and size consistent. To lock in freshness, the sushi is quickly frozen using special freezing machines that preserve flavor, texture, and nutrients. Once frozen, the pieces are carefully packed into boxes, labeled and sealed. These frozen sushi packs are stored at very low temperatures until they are shipped to supermarkets and restaurants. And here we have an inside look at how chocolate bars are made in a factory. The process begins with cocoa beans, which are roasted and ground into a smooth paste. This paste is mixed with ingredients like sugar and milk to create rich, creamy chocolate. The mixture is then poured into molds, shaping the chocolate into familiar bars. Next, some bars are coated with a layer of malted chocolate for extra flavor and texture. They move along a conveyor belt to cool and harden. Robotic arms and machines carefully check each bar to ensure high quality. Once the chocolate is ready, it moves to the packaging stage. Machines wrap each bar in protective packaging to keep it fresh and ready for sale. Finally, the packaged chocolate bars are packed into boxes and sent to stores worldwide. Frozen pizza is produced in factories using a highly efficient method that combines advanced technology with stringent quality control to provide tasty, convenient meals. It all begins with preparing the dough, made from a precise blend of flour, water, yeast, and other ingredients. The dough is mixed and left to rise before being rolled into flat sheets and cut into the desired pizza shapes. Next, the pizza bases are partially baked in high-temperature ovens, ensuring a firm crust while maintaining softness inside. After cooling, the partially baked crusts move along conveyor belts to the topping stations. Here, sauce is evenly spread, followed by layers of cheese, meats, and vegetables. Each topping is applied with precision using automated dispensers to guarantee consistency. The fully assembled pizzas are then flash frozen in specialized freezers that rapidly reduce their temperature. This process locks in freshness and preserves the taste and texture of the ingredients. Once frozen, the pizzas are packaged in boxes designed to prevent damage and maintain product quality during transport. Throughout the production, rigorous quality control checks ensure every pizza meets safety and flavor standards. These frozen pizzas are then distributed to stores ready to provide customers with a quick and delicious meal option. As we continue, let's take a closer look at the process of making canned tuna. It begins with catching and unloading the tuna, often by large fishing vessels. The fish are quickly chilled or frozen to maintain freshness during transport to processing facilities. Once at the facility, the tuna is inspected for quality and cleaned. The fish are then pre-cooked by steaming or baking, which makes it easier to remove the skin, bones, and excess fat. After cooking, the tuna is cooled and cleaned further, with the meat being carefully separated into chunks or flakes, depending on the desired product type. Next, the prepared tuna is packed into sterilized cans, often along with liquids such as water, oil, or brine. The cans are sealed tightly to prevent contamination. They then undergo a sterilization process using high-pressure heat treatment, which kills bacteria and ensures the tuna is shelf-stable for extended periods. Once sterilized, the cans are cooled, labeled, and subjected to quality control checks to verify safety, flavor, and consistency. The finished cans are then packaged and distributed, providing consumers with a convenient protein-rich food option. Over 100 million bags of Doritos are sold worldwide each year, making it one of the most popular snacks globally. Doritos, created in the 1960s by Frito-Lay executive Arch West, began with a simple idea inspired by crispy tortillas found in a San Diego restaurant. Using surplus tortillas, West cut them into triangles, fried them, and added seasoning, creating the first batch of Doritos. Today, with more than 10 different flavors, Doritos continue to be a top-selling chip worldwide. Unlike regular potato chips, Doritos are made from corn flour. The process starts with carefully harvesting corn cobs, ensuring they remain intact and undamaged. The plants are cut just above the ground, and the cobs are removed and loaded into containers. Once full, these containers are transported by truck to the factory for processing. At the factory, the corn is cleaned and dried using vibrating screens that remove dust, stones, and sand. The moisture content is then adjusted to 14%, a crucial step for production. Every day, the factory receives 45,000 kilograms of corn. The dried corn is transferred to large storage silos before being cooked in water. Over a year, this adds up to more than 6.5 million kilograms of finished product. A massive amount of corn. The facility is divided into 4 main sections, including a 65,000 square meter distribution center. Each day, the factory produces approximately 70,000 bags of Doritos, totaling around 18 million bags per year. The first step in making Doritos is cooking the corn before it moves to the soaking tanks. The process begins with boilers equipped with agitators that cook the corn at a temperature close to boiling. The cooked corn is then transferred to 18 open tanks, where it soaks for 12 hours. Each batch contains approximately 300 kilograms of corn and 90 kilograms of water. The kernels are cooked to 93 degrees Celsius for about 4 minutes before soaking overnight. which softens them and allows them to absorb moisture. This soaking process also helps loosen and remove the husk, the outer covering of the kernel. Once softened, the corn moves to a filtration system that drains the excess water, leaving only hydrated kernels. When the moisture content reaches 45% and the husks have fully loosened, a pumping system transfers the corn to a washing machine, where high-pressure water jets remove the remaining husks. The cleaned kernels then travel on a conveyor belt to the milling stage. The corn is ground into a dough using rotating millstones that crush the kernels into a soft paste. Water is added during the grinding process to achieve the right consistency. 3 key factors are monitored: moisture content, temperature, and texture. The finished dough is then shaped into a thin sheet as it passes through metal rollers. A third roller cuts the dough into triangular pieces, similar to a cookie cutter. These rollers can cut 6,000 individual chips per minute, over 8 million in 24 hours. The freshly cut chips move along a conveyor belt to the next stage. The raw chips enter a 3-level industrial oven set at 340 degrees Celsius. They remain inside for just 16 seconds, long enough to dry the dough while preserving some moisture. This moisture creates tiny air pockets that form the signature bubbles on the surface of Doritos, giving them their crunchy texture. Any leftover dough from the cutting process isn't wasted. It's sent back to the dough vats to be reused. After baking, the chips move on to the next phase of production, where they will be fried, seasoned, and packaged into the Doritos we know and love. After baking, the chips move along a series of conveyor belts to cool before entering the fryer. This brief pause allows inspectors to check for any burnt chips. The chips then travel on a conveyor belt into the fryer, where they are submerged in oil heated to 182 degrees Celsius for 55 seconds. This is where they develop their golden color and crispy texture. During frying, the trapped air pockets inside the chips expand, forming the characteristic bubbles seen on finished Doritos. As they exit the fryer, a mesh conveyor belt removes excess oil, which is filtered and returned for reuse. Next, the freshly fried chips enter a large rotating drum, where they are coated with seasoning. A specialized auger system feeds nacho seasoning into the drum, with large sacks of the spice mix added at the top of the machine. The seasoning blend includes a secret combination of cheddar cheese, Parmesan cheese, spices, flavor enhancers like MSG, and preservatives to extend shelf life. To ensure the seasoning sticks evenly, nozzles spray the chips with canola oil. The drum's rotation distributes the flavor while also acting as a buffer, preventing the delicate chips from breaking. The seasoned Doritos then travel along a 30-meter conveyor belt, allowing them to fully cool before packaging. Once cooled, the chips reach the packaging department, where hoppers guide them into various packaging machines. This stage is a precise, high-speed process. Each packaging machine is equipped with 14 cube-shaped scales that carefully measure the chips. When the correct amount for a bag is reached, a trapdoor opens, dropping the chips into the forming bag. At the same time, a strip of aluminum and plastic film is shaped into a bag, which is then sealed and cut using heat sealing technology. To keep the Doritos fresh, the machine injects nitrogen into the bag before sealing it airtight. This process removes oxygen, preventing spoilage, and also creates an air cushion inside the bag to protect the chips from breaking. Each large bag contains around 100 chips. Finally, an operator ensures that each box contains 8 bags before they are sent for distribution. This factory manufactures and packages 70,000 bags of Doritos every day, totaling over 18 million bags per year, a $4 billion industry. As we continue, let's take a look at this ice cream factory. Special machines first replace the cones on a moving belt. ensuring they are ready for the next steps. Then the cones are sprayed with a layer of chocolate to add extra flavor and prevent them from getting soggy. Next comes the filling stage. Creamy ice cream made from milk, sugar, and flavors like vanilla or chocolate is carefully poured into each cone. Once filled, the cones move forward for the topping stage. Delicious extras like melted chocolate and crunchy peanuts are added to enhance the taste. Finally, the ice cream cones go through the packaging process. They are placed in boxes and sent to freezing chambers to harden. Once fully frozen, they are packed and shipped to stores ready for people to enjoy. Next up, let's take a look on how instant noodles are manufactured. It all starts with mixing wheat flour, water, and sometimes seasoning to create the dough. This dough is mixed and kneaded to the perfect texture for noodles. The dough is then rolled into thin sheets and fed through machines that cut it into long noodle strands. These strands are formed into the familiar curly shape, which helps the noodles cook evenly. Once cut, the noodles go through a steaming process to partially cook them. Steaming helps retain their shape and prepares them for the next steps. The noodles are cooled and placed into packages along with flavor packets containing seasonings. The packaging is then sealed to keep the noodles fresh until they're ready to be enjoyed. The making of soft biscuit in factory begins in the mixing room, where key ingredients like flour, sugar, butter, milk, and leavening agents are combined to form the biscuit dough. The secret to a soft biscuit lies in the perfect ratio of these ingredients. Industrial mixers ensure the dough is blended evenly, creating a smooth, consistent texture. This step is critical. Too much mixing can result in tough biscuits, while too little won't create the desired softness. Once the dough is ready, it's cut into familiar biscuit shapes. Various molds can be used depending on the type of biscuit being produced. Next, the shaped biscuits are transferred to large conveyor belts that move them through industrial ovens. Baking temperatures and times are carefully controlled to achieve the perfect balance of a soft interior and slightly crisp exterior. The baking process causes the dough to rise and creates the fluffy texture we all love in soft biscuits. After baking, the biscuits need to cool before packaging. Conveyor belts transport them to a cooling area where they are inspected for quality. Finally, the biscuits are wrapped in airtight packaging to maintain their freshness. Whether they're destined for local stores or shipped across the country, the packaging ensures the biscuits stay soft and delicious. Here at the Grün Fish Factory, you'll find state-of-the-art facilities that were recently renovated with new advanced equipment. One highlight is the MSC 55MA slicer, which can cut salmon into slices between 2 to 60 millimeters thick at precise angles ranging from 10 degrees to 70 degrees. Equally impressive is the deboning system, which works at an incredible speed of up to 50 fillets per minute, with an accuracy of just 0.2 millimeters. With more than 10 varieties and flavors, Spam is a canned lunch meat product that first hit shelves in 1937. Spam has become a household name with over 9 billion units sold across 48 countries. The first step in making Spam is gathering the key ingredients. Spam is primarily made from pork and ham, which come from pigs. Specifically, It uses pork shoulder and ham meat. These cuts of meat are chosen for their texture and flavor. In addition to the meat, Spam contains a few other ingredients: salt, water, potato starch, sugar, to balances the saltiness and adds a hint of sweetness. In addition to these, sodium nitrite is used as a preservative to maintain the product's signature pink color and extend its shelf life. The emphasis on high-quality ingredients ensures that Spam delivers a consistent taste and texture every time. These 6 simple ingredients are combined to create Spam's unique taste and texture. Once the meat passes inspection, it is sent to industrial grinders. These grinders are specially designed to break down the pork shoulder and ham into a uniform consistency. This consistency is essential for achieving the smooth and cohesive texture that Spam is known for. The grinding process also helps prepare the meat for mixing with additional ingredients, ensuring every batch of Spam meets the same high standards. After grinding, the meat is transferred to large mixing vats, where it is combined with other ingredients. Each ingredient serves a specific purpose. Salt enhances the flavor and acts as a preservative. Sugar balances the taste, and potato starch helps bind the ingredients together. Sodium nitrite is used in small quantities to preserve the meat's color and prevent spoilage. Modern Spam factories prioritize sustainability by reducing waste, recycling materials, and using energy-efficient machinery. For example, any leftover meat trimmings are repurposed or used for other products, minimizing waste. Once the meat mixture is fully blended, it is transferred to a machine that forms it into loaf shapes. This step is crucial for maintaining consistency across all batches of Spam. Each loaf is molded to a standard size and shape, ensuring that the final product is uniform and ready for the next stage of production. Uniformity is a key aspect of Spam's appeal, as it ensures that every can looks and tastes the same. The loaves are then placed into large ovens where they are cooked to a precise temperature. This step is critical for ensuring the meat is fully cooked while retaining its moisture and flavor. The cooking process also helps bind the ingredients together, giving Spam its iconic texture. Advanced monitoring systems track the temperature and cooking time to ensure each loaf is cooked to perfection. The cans undergo a thorough sterilization process to maintain hygiene and food safety. After the Spam slices are placed inside, the cans are filled with a small amount of brine. The brine serves multiple purposes. It helps preserve the product, enhances its flavor, and ensures the meat remains moist over time. The cans are then sealed using high-speed machinery that guarantees an airtight closure. This step is critical for preventing contamination and extending the product's shelf life. Each can is vacuum sealed to remove air, further ensuring the Spam remains fresh for an extended period. The sealed cans are now ready for a second cooking process, known as retort cooking. Retort cooking involves heating the sealed cans in pressurized chambers to a specific temperature. This sterilization process eliminates any bacteria, ensuring the meat remains safe to eat for an extended period. After the cans have been sterilized, they are rapidly cooled to room temperature. This cooling step prevents overcooking and helps maintain the product's quality. Once cooled, the cans move to the labeling section where each one is inspected for defects. Quality control checks ensure that the cans are properly sealed, free of dents, and meet the factory's high standards. The final step in the process is packaging. After being labeled with Spam's signature blue and yellow design, the cans are packed into boxes for shipping. Automated systems handle the packaging process, ensuring efficiency and precision. Each box is carefully stacked and prepared for distribution to grocery stores, wholesalers, and international markets. Spam's durability and long shelf life make it an ideal product for global shipping, allowing it to reach consumers in over 40 countries. Throughout the entire production process, Rigorous quality control measures are in place to ensure every can of Spam meets strict standards. From inspecting the raw meat to tasting finished samples, every step is carefully monitored to maintain the product's reputation for quality and taste. Now let's explore this tortellini factory that show us how this ring-shaped pasta is processed. It all starts with mixing high-quality durum wheat flour and water in industrial mixers. Some factories may also add eggs for richness. The dough is then fed through a series of rollers that gradually flatten it into thin sheets. Next comes the filling, often a flavorful mixture of ingredients like cheese, meat, or spinach. The dough sheets are fed into a machine that precisely places small portions of filling onto each piece. The machine then folds and presses the dough around the filling, creating the signature tortellini shape. Depending on the product type, the tortellini may go through a cooking and quick freezing process. The tortellini is then packaged, labeled, and made ready for shipment, ensuring it arrives fresh and delicious. And here we have the process of making burger buns. It all begins with selecting high-quality ingredients. The main components of burger buns are flour, water, yeast, sugar, and butter or oil. Once the ingredients arrive, it's time to mix the dough. Large industrial mixers combine ingredients in precise quantities. After mixing, the dough is divided into perfectly portioned pieces. These pieces are shaped into buns using automated machines. At this stage, the buns may also receive a dusting of flour or sesame seeds, depending on the type of burger bun being made. Once shaped, they are sent to the proofing chamber. This is a warm, humid environment where the dough rises for the final time before baking. Next up is the baking process. The buns bake at high temperatures until they turn golden brown. This step requires precise timing and temperature control to ensure that they are perfectly baked. During baking, the yeast creates bubbles in the dough, giving them their signature soft texture. After baking, the buns need to cool down before they can be packaged. They are transferred to cooling racks where fans help bring them to room temperature. Once cooled, they are ready for packaging. In the packaging section, buns are placed into plastic bags or other packaging materials to keep them fresh. Automated packaging machines ensure the process is fast and efficient. And here we have, gummy worms are also a popular treat enjoyed by people of all ages around the world. The manufacturing of gummy worms begins with the preparation of the ingredients. This typically includes gelatin, water, sugar, corn syrup, flavorings, and food coloring. Gelatin is the primary ingredient that gives gummy candies their chewy texture. The first step in the production process is to mix the gelatin with water in large tanks. This mixture is heated and stirred until the gelatin is completely dissolved, creating a thick and sticky liquid. Sugar, corn syrup, and flavorings are then added to the mix to enhance the taste of the gummy worms. Once the base mixture is ready, it is transferred to a cooking vessel where it is heated to a specific temperature. This process is crucial as it helps to activate the gelatin and bind the ingredients together. The mixture is continuously stirred to ensure that it cooks evenly and does not burn. After the mixture reaches the desired consistency, it is poured into molds shaped like worms. These molds are typically made of silicone and feature intricate details to replicate the look of real worms. Food coloring is added at this stage to give the gummy worms their vibrant and eye-catching colors. The filled molds are then left to set and cool for several hours. This allows the gummy worms to solidify and take on their characteristic chewy texture. Once the gummy worms have fully set, they are removed from the molds and inspected for quality control. Any gummy worms that do not meet the manufacturer's standards are discarded, while the ones that pass inspection are packaged and prepared for distribution. The packaging process involves sealing the gummy worms in bags or containers to protect them from moisture and maintain their freshness. Finally, the packaged gummy worms are shipped to stores where they are sold to consumers. From a sweet mixture to those familiar treats, the process starts with a candy base typically made from starch molasses or invert sugar syrup. This base gives the candy its sweetness and structure. To this base, other ingredients are added, including water, sugar, coloring, and flavoring. Each component is carefully measured to ensure consistent taste and texture. Once all ingredients are combined, the mixture is heated and brought to a boil. This boiling step is crucial as it thickens the mixture to the ideal consistency for hard candy. The mixture must reach a specific concentration to give the candy its signature hardness. This part of the process requires precise temperature control, and factory machinery carefully monitors the heat to avoid overcooking or burning. After boiling, the hot candy mixture is carefully cooled to around 85 degrees Celsius. Cooling at this temperature makes the candy soft enough to be shaped, but firm enough to hold together. Some factories use molds to give the candy its specific form, while others cut it into the desired shape as it passes through rollers. Once shaped, the candies need to cool down completely. They are gradually brought to room temperature to prevent any cracking or stickiness. This cooling process is key to setting the candy's final hardness, ensuring it's ready for packaging and long-lasting shelf life. The cooled candies move to the packaging station where they're wrapped individually or in batches. Automated systems quickly wrap each piece, sealing in freshness and keeping them hygienic. Once packaged, the candies are boxed up and sent to warehouses ready to be distributed to stores nationwide. Next up, let's explore the process of making cheese. It all begins with the arrival of fresh milk. Upon reaching the factory, the milk undergoes a series of tests, chemical, microbiological, and sensory, to ensure it meets quality standards. Once it passes, it's stored in insulated tanks with strict temperature control to maintain freshness. When it's time to begin cheese production, the milk is sent for pasteurization. This step removes any harmful bacteria. Then, specialized ingredients are added, including live lactic cultures, Penicillium roquefort, and rennet, which helps start the cheese-making process. Next, the milk mixture is poured into stainless steel molds where it begins to take shape as cheese. The cheese is left to rest in these molds for 24 hours. After this initial resting period, the cheese undergoes its first salting, which enhances the flavor and aids in preservation. The cheese is then transferred to a special chamber, kept at around 21 degrees Celsius, where it will rest and age. After another 24 hours, a second salting occurs, which further enhances the cheese's unique flavor profile. Depending on the type of cheese, it can remain here for anywhere between 2 to 7 days. For Gorgonzola, the cheese needs to develop its distinctive blue veins. It's transferred to a cooler chamber at 3 to 5 degrees Celsius, where it's pierced with steel needles. This allows air inside, which helps the Penicillium roqueforti culture grow and form the signature blue mold. The cheese now undergoes a final ripening stage, lasting between 50 and 80 days. Once it reaches optimal maturity, it's ready for cutting and packaging. Using advanced technology like Celox systems, the factory can make up to 130 precise cuts per minute, ensuring consistency in each piece. Mortadella production starts with carefully selected cuts of pork, traditionally the shoulder and back fat, which provide the meat with its signature flavor and texture. The pork is then ground into a fine paste using specialized grinders. This step ensures that the meat achieves the smooth, uniform consistency that mortadella is known for. Next, a blend of spices and seasonings are added to the meat paste. The traditional recipe includes salt, black pepper, and aromatic herbs, giving mortadella its rich, savory taste. One of the defining features of mortadella is the addition of cubes of pork fat. These visible white spots add texture and help to keep the sausage moist during cooking. Once the ingredients are combined, the mixture is stuffed into large casings. These cylindrical molds give mortadella its traditional shape, and the air is removed to ensure the sausage is tightly packed. The stuffed sausages are then slowly cooked in steam ovens at controlled temperatures. This cooking process can take several hours, allowing the flavors to fully develop while the mortadella achieves its smooth, delicate texture. After cooking, the mortadella is cooled to set its shape and firm up the texture. Each batch undergoes strict quality control checks to ensure it meets the highest standards. Finally, the mortadella is sliced into thin, uniform slices and packaged, ready to be sent to stores and kitchens around the world. From cacao farms to bustling factories, chocolate manufacturing is a blend of precision and artistry. Each step in this journey, from harvesting cacao beans to creating the final chocolate bar, is guided by both intricate science and a passion for flavor. The process of making chocolate starts in tropical regions where cacao trees produce large, colorful pods. Inside each pod are cacao beans, which are harvested by hand. Farmers open the pods and scoop out the beans, which are then left to ferment for several days. This fermentation is crucial as it brings out the beans' natural flavors, setting the foundation for that signature chocolate taste. The beans are left to ferment in wooden boxes or under banana leaves. During fermentation, natural chemical changes occur, giving the beans a deeper, more complex flavor. After fermentation, the beans are dried under the sun for about a week before being packed and sent to chocolate factories. Once the dried beans reach the factory, the first step is roasting. Roasting helps to develop and enhance the flavor of the chocolate. The beans are roasted at a specific temperature and time, depending on the type of chocolate being made. For dark chocolate, beans may be roasted at a higher temperature, while milk chocolate often requires a gentler roast. During roasting, the shells of the beans become brittle, making it easier to remove them in the next step. The beans release their delicious aroma, filling the factory with the scent of chocolate. After roasting, the beans are cracked open and their outer shells are removed in a process called winnowing. This leaves behind cacao nibs, which are the purest form of chocolate. The nibs are packed with cocoa solids and cocoa butter, both essential for making chocolate. Next, the cacao nibs are ground into a thick paste known as chocolate liquor. Despite the name, Chocolate liquor doesn't contain alcohol. It's a pure liquid form of chocolate, rich and intense in flavor. The chocolate liquor then undergoes a process called conching. During conching, the chocolate is continuously mixed and aerated, often for hours or even days, to develop a smooth texture and mellow flavor. Conching breaks down particles, making the chocolate creamier and less gritty. Depending on the type of chocolate, other ingredients like sugar, milk powder, and vanilla are added to the chocolate liquor. For milk, chocolate powdered milk gives it a creamy taste, while white chocolate contains no cocoa solids, only cocoa butter, sugar, and milk powder. These ingredients are carefully measured and mixed in, ensuring that every batch has the perfect balance of sweetness and texture. Once the chocolate is blended, it goes through a process called tempering. Tempering involves cooling and reheating the chocolate at specific temperatures to align the cocoa butter crystals. This step is essential for giving chocolate that shiny finish and satisfying snap. Tempering also ensures that the chocolate will have a smooth texture and won't easily melt when handled. After tempering, the liquid chocolate is poured into molds to give it shape, whether it's a bar, truffle, or unique shape. The molds then go through a cooling tunnel where the chocolate solidifies, setting the shape and giving it that glossy appearance we all recognize. Once cooled, the chocolate is ready for packaging. Automated machines wrap each piece with precision, protecting it and ensuring freshness. Packaging is not just for preservation, it's a part of the brand experience, giving each chocolate product its unique look.